So with every game we want to do the same thing, which is queue up as many villagers as we can from our town center and look for our sheep. After that, we'd want to shift queue our villagers onto the nearest sheep, and we're going to send 6 on sheep. After we have 6 on sheep, we currently have 5, and we are going to send the next villager to chop wood and build a lumber camp. And during this time, remember to shift queue onto your next sheep to save a little bit of time. And remember, the next 3 go to wood for a total of 4 on wood. And in this time, remember to keep spamming that build villager button so that you constantly have 2 at all times, unless you're planning to go up. At which point you would have 1 villager queued up and the next would be your feudal age. This is also an underrated tip. Make sure that for your first few villagers, make sure that it's 1 villager per tree. So this way it cuts down on bumping, and it actually really does help. You'll notice it when your villagers are bumping and you don't quite have enough wood to do what you want. From here, we're going to locate our nearest boar or one of the boars. Let's go for this one, since it's a direct line drive. We're going to build a house. Alternatively, you can get the boar right away and then build a house. But in this instance, I'm going to build a house and then get the boar. And the next villager goes to forage bushes. And don't forget about this villager that you used to get the boar. And normally at this point, or right before then, I will start pushing deer. But I understand that not everyone has the micro or the ability to push deer effectively without ruining the rest of their game. So I'm going to show you how I would do it without any deer, which is making farms. After we have 4 on this, on forage bushes, we're going to get our second boar. But before then, we're going to build another house. And at this point, we're going to build a house again and another farm. Or 1 farm for now. And then add 1 to wood. I'm gonna add another to wood now. Let's warlord right into the TC. And then we're gonna add 1 more to forage bushes for 5 on total. 5 in total, I should say. We're gonna add the next 2 to boar and then build another 2 farms. Okay, and at this point, I want to build a second lumber camp. Somewhere preferably away from the first lumber camp, just so that you maximize the amount of space that you have to chop wood. So we're going to drop it somewhere here. Also keep in mind, you want to drop your lumber camps in areas where there's an opportunity to drop a town center. So for these, I'm probably going to drop one right here on the main guild. Whereas here, I'm probably going to drop one around here. There's a lot of wood, a lot of farming area. So just something to keep in mind. And then we're going to send the next 3 on gold. So let's drop them off here. And now you have a big decision to make. Do you loom right now and in case you get raided, or if you need a wall? Let's just assume my flank is a great person. He's going to wall the entire map for me. So I don't have to worry about that. I'm going to skip loom. If I skip loom, in this case, I don't need 3 on gold. I can simply put 2 on gold. If I do get loom, I would eventually have to add 3 on gold. At least in Dark Age. And at this point, I'm down to my last sheep. I'm going to build farms slowly until I have 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm missing 1, 7. That's really all you need. And I'll show you in just a moment. After these finish, I like to put them on a straggler tree. These will be my building builders in Feudal Age. So these will build my blacksmith and my market. And in this time, just make sure that every villager is assigned to one tree at a time. So this one's okay because it's right up against the lumber camp. This one should be fine. This guy, he needs to go back here. And remember to queue up 2 villagers before you hit the Feudal Age. I hate the villager pathing in this game, honestly. Anyway, build your 2 buildings, queue up those villagers, put them on wood. And we should be able to click up. Might need a garrison a bit, but that's okay. It's probably due to the fact that this mill placement could be a little better, but it's not a problem. The thing is, I try not to build any farms in the Feudal Age until you research horse collar. So that's typically the first tech that I get. And once you research it, you can actually start building farms. And don't forget to get double bit axe as well. These are the 2 most important upgrades that you want before you click up, or right before you actually go up. It's important to micro your wood a little, just to make sure they're not bumping. It's incredibly hard to click these streets for some reason, so just try your best. And at this point, I assign these to control groups, so I know when they would drop when I go up, I can actually just select them and drop a town center right away. And usually what I look for is about 600 wood and at least 300, 400 food. This is a little bit low for my liking, but it'll be a decent move. So drop your 2 town centers immediately and then get Bowsaw. And at this point, you do not want to seed any new farms until you get your 3rd town center up. So all idle villagers go on to wood until we have 275, and we want to buy 100 stone here. Okay, nice. And then we can drop our third town center. And at this point, we start dropping farms. So every time you have 300 wood, sorry, 60 wood, you want to drop a farm. If you don't have enough, build a house. That is the formula. And ideally, we don't want to get wheelbarrow ASAP, but if we don't have the food for it, that's okay. And cycle through all your town centers and make sure they have at least one villager in each. This is the most difficult part about the boom because you typically will not have enough food to keep them all occupied at the very start unless you had an exceptionally good early game. And that's okay, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just try your best. Minimize idle time. You can also buy food, but I would not recommend it because likely other people are competing with you. It's always better to balance your eco instead of relying on the market. Unless you're in a pinch, of course. Your food should stabilize around 26, 25 vils on food. Right around now. At this point, you're able to keep at least one in each. I'm about to lose this ville to... Nope. Save them. And then around 20 minutes or so is when I want to start thinking about gold. So I'm going to start adding villagers to gold now. And also get wheelbarrow. Oops. And I'm floating a lot of food right now. Sorry, floating a lot of wood. I'm misspeaking a lot here. So what I typically do is, let's say, I know I'm not going castle. I'm not going conquistadors. I'm going to drop a bunch of woodcutters and reassign them to gold. And also, this is very important. Make sure you get your markets up early. Like, this sounds crazy, but you're floating a lot of wood. I'm going to get a loom here just so I don't lose anyone. I should also get a castle up. But the reason why you want to get your markets up now rather than later is because if you're running out of gold, it's already too late to trade. Try to get heavy plow around now. And gold mining. And just keep all your town centers filled up. And look to build your advancement buildings, which is typically university and monastery. Could be a workshop monastery, could be a workshop university. Any combination of the two. And don't forget to keep building houses, as your population will expand heavily at this point. And should be enough on gold for now. And get caravan and start making carts. Fortunately, this person does not have ideal markets. That's okay. We're gonna make a monk and grab that relic just so we can multitask. And for Paladins, I want typically about 50 on food. And don't forget to replenish your lumber camps every now and then. This really helps with efficiency. And don't forget your house builders. We can almost click up. Say, let's say a little bit more. We can click up now. Okay, so now that we've clicked up, all your efforts should be focused on. So this should be going here. And now we can start looking at production buildings or military production buildings. And since I'm going Paladins, I will want to go for cavalry upgrades. And I can also add a bit more to gold here because and remember what I said about bumping? This applies to gold mines as well. So let's just try to make sure they're not bumping into each other. I can get handcart now because it was not worth it getting it in Castle Age so late. And and during this downtime, just make sure you get all your techs up. And the first thing we do when we get to Castle Age, Imperial Age, is research Cavalier. Or farms are expiring now at the same time. Awesome. You can turn on automatic seed farming. And we can start queuing up some military. In this case, will be Cavalier. And remember what I said about 50 farmers? So we're going to try to meet that now. At this point in the game, you want to start thinking about strategy. How am I going to win the game? Do I need to make other units? If they're help spamming, maybe I could switch into hand cannoneers, at which point you would want to research chemistry earlier. Also, do you have a game plan outside of just winning the front? Let's say they have fully walled. Do you help an ally out? I get two mansaw at this point in the game. And I don't need this bunch of wood carters. I'm going to delete them. Likewise. I have 30 trade cards at 33 minutes. Oh, as well. Remember to keep making them. Resource conscription so that everything works faster. And I should be able to click up Paladin soon. And I should have Paladins by 35 minutes. If not, just keep making Cavalier if you need to fight off like an early attack. If I'm devoting fully to Paladins, I'm going to make more farms. Blast Furnace. Maybe I need to add some cap rams. If not, I go bomber cannons. And don't forget to keep macroing up production from your markets. This one I have 35 carts for 35 minutes. It's pretty good, if I must say. I can start thinking about deleting some gold miners because they're no longer efficient. And I've been max pop since about 33 minutes or so. So you might not want to overboom like I did, but it's always better to overboom than underboom because you can always delete those, you can't instantly replenish them. And of course, this assumes that the enemy won't attack you until about 35 minutes as well. At least you have something to defend yourself with. This going straight Paladins is very strong, but also very weak. When you consider that they could just help spam and instantly wipe out your army. In that case, I would rely on your ally. In this case, my ally is Japanese. I would request him to make Arbalists, or he can go Samurai, which is a bit slower. But remember to patrol. I like to put them on staggered sometimes, so that they it's easier to envelope the enemy. Remember to protect your siege, and then you don't get greedy. You go. Always protect your siege. I see this way too often. People would run straight for the eco and completely ignore the siege. Your siege gets taken out. And at that point of the game, you can't push because you have nothing up to take out castles, take out walls. And remember to patrol always. Patrolling typically gives you the best results. And attack move works just as well. So. And pretty much the game is over. You have idle vills, so you should delete them. And hopefully this has been informative and gives you insight into my thought process on how I would boom if I were the pocket and I was allowed to boom if they gave me free reign.